Hello and welcome everybody, I'm one proud Bavarian and today we are back here at Language Hour. We're not, of course. We're playing as Bayreuth with the goal to get Franconia done in a bit. I mean, the free cities here are really a bit of an issue for us. But I also got some comments on the topic of languages because I kind of got into, you know, my least and most favorite, not really languages, but let's say dialects of Germanic languages, and then the least and most favorite proper languages of the Germanic. And I actually never mentioned English. I just straight up never mentioned English. Somebody wrote, I'm surprised English is not your least favorite Germanic language. I guess it's not really Germanic, but what else would it be classified as? Also, everyone hates English, so if English was classified as a Germanic language, would you rank it lower than Swiss? The answer is a very, very, very clear no. So, English is of course a bastard when it comes to the way it has been made. You know, you have Latin, you have French, you have Germanic influences, you have some other influences, especially then from the colonies that are not on this map. But when it comes to a lot of the things, how the language works, you know, to some of the grammar and so on and so forth, it still is clearly Germanic. And I just didn't mention it. I don't know. Never thought of it. I think I thought more of the languages that are proper Germanic stayed fairly inside of their own lane. England is, and English is, and I think that is a positive, by the way, is a mix out of a lot of different languages, a lot of different instances of Germanic languages as well. You know, you had the Angles and the Jutes, and I don't know how to pronounce it in English, the Angeln and the Juten invade in England in, what was that, 400 and something? I can't even remember when they invaded, or got over there, were invited rather by the Romano-Britons. And then you had the Danish, and yeah, I think it was only the Danish invasions actually, of 860 something. And those, of course, were two very different Germanic languages, you know, that came over at first and then came over again. That also forms your language. It makes it very different. Why am I actually positive towards English as a language? Well, I of course prefer German. I like the complexity of German. I like just generally how it sounds, how it works. But, and I want to mention this because this is important to me. I think that the simplicity, the accessibility that English comes with is the most clear positive about the language. Because it makes it so that it is accessible worldwide, that millions and millions, that billions of people are able to talk, in this language and to communicate. And I think there has to be an international language. That's just the way it is. You know, people always go like, well, but isn't it a bit terrible that everybody speaks English now? Isn't that just, you know, doesn't that ruin the mood? Let's go, maybe espionage. I want to do something Diplo because we have so many Diplo points in comparison. But obviously, like, many of these aren't worth anything. Aggressive expansion impact, you know what? Take influence. And there has to be such a language, and that language has to be fairly simple to get into, and I think English does that perfectly. I also love how English sounds. The only English accent, and don't take that the wrong way, because I don't mean it like that, but the only English accent that I feel a bit negatively about, I feel personally, is beyond Scottish English, which I just literally can't understand. You know, everybody has heard of Limmy, right? He's like, great fucking comedian from Scotland, and he's funny, supposedly. I couldn't attest to that because I can't understand him. I listen to him and I just go like, what did he just say? I have absolutely no idea what he said. You know, there was a joke, he said something about Glasgow and then Thatcher, and the joke I think was Thatcher, but I couldn't tell you because I literally can't understand it. And, you know, I mean, how positive could I be about a language like that? Could I make Saxony my rival? Are they already my rival? Yeah, they are. Katzenelnbogen and Saxony. So what about Ziegenhain? Absolutely. Let's go. So, you know, the only real accent that I have an issue with is the southern North American, so the southern USA accent, because it sounds so, I don't know, I can't even imitate it. I can't do it. But just like, that gets me uppity every time. I don't even know why. It's just like, I listen and I'm like, man, Martha, get the gun. There's an intruder in our house. That's how it makes me feel. Nothing personal, kid, okay? Other than that, I think English is actually a beautiful language in its simplicity. And at the same time, English can also be rather beautiful and complex in the grammar structure. If you go into it, you have a lot of, you know, English is not English. You have a lot of different accents in England itself, you know, so much so that I went to England and I met somebody that I believe was like from Yorkshire or something. Yorkshire is somewhere like right here, right? No? Wait, where's Yorkshire? Leicestershire? Yorkshire. Yeah, it's right there. So, you know, I didn't understand him. It was actually, here's the story. So I went to London, right? And I arrived, went into a bakery, wanted to get a little bit, you know, a snack. You have like, I don't know, subs. You have like you have a sandwich. You have pizzas. Those little pizza slices they give you. Now when I was like, "Yo, could I have this?" And then the answer from the lady, you know, behind the counter was a young lady, maybe like 22, 25, something like that in between there. And the answer, first of all, she was very quiet, very timid, and that is not on her. You know, timid and quiet people, be timid and quiet, celebrate yourself. I don't worry about it. But that already made it harder to understand her. And then she said something like, "Want to eat here or somewhere else?" And I was just like, I can't even imitate it. I don't know. All I'm saying is, there's also such a variety in English accents when it comes to both the grammar, both the vocabulary used, and the pronunciation, that I think English is an incredibly complex and diverse language, and I like that, while at the same time, it's keeping it fairly simple and makes it accessible for people like myself that aren't actually native English speakers. Now, of course, having grown up in a country like Germany that is speaking a Germanic language and has German English education starting in 4th grade and ending in 12th grade, including the 8th grade, of course. Maybe, I think it actually started in 2nd grade. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not entirely sure. But, all I'm saying is it was very easy to get into the language anyway. Even if it were a difficult language, it would still be easy. You know, for example, Norwegian, I always forget there's Bokmål and then there's Nynorsk, and those are the two writing systems that they use in Norway. I don't know why they have two. I think it's like historically. And I think it was Nynorsk that I was able to read. I can perfectly read it. If somebody reads it, you know, like if I have a text, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what he's saying because it is still so close grammatically to German. And that's beautiful. That's a beauty. I love these language family connections. But back to Swiss, you know, in terms of, is England, where would English be on the list? My favorite Germanic language, of course, is German, and I think right after is English. I'll be honest with you, I love English. It's a great language. I'm happy that I'm not monolingual. What I wouldn't like as an English person or as an American person is to be monolingual. And the reasoning for that is very, very simple. English is an international language, and if you only know English and you go out in the world and, you know, you meet a lot of people, they all can communicate with you. They all will be able to do it. You know, you of course will be able to do it better than them, but you'll be fine, and they'll be fine, and we will have to pay our armies. And I have a lot of, where does this money come from? Good lord. However, and this is something that I deem to be very, very important. If somebody speaks your language, he has a window into your culture, okay? He has a window to see what your culture is like. He can consume your media. He can take a look at your politics, at, you know, songs. He can take a look at your music industry, your film industry, and all of those things. And it will teach him about who you and who your country are as a person. Now, that is good for people's communication. You know, if you want to bring people together, for example, in Europe or whatever, they need to be able to communicate with each other. However, if you are unable to do the same with their culture, to understand their culture, then you will have a disadvantage, not only interacting with them, but also in international competition, you know, be it as a state, be it as a business, be it as a single person applying for an international job, or so on and so forth. And that is terrible. That is something that is bad for you and your country, because it will make your society more transparent, while they themselves look a bit, you know, weird. For example, the United States of America, and I'm not trying to put all of the Americans to one pot, because they certainly do not. They have a very diverse culture, but, and by the way, this is not at all political, don't take this wrong, but as a German that speaks English, I understand the United States of America and their culture far, far better than they understand German culture. I don't want to bring any cliches, any stereotypes of, oh, they all think we wear lederhosen here, those ignorant idiots. I don't want to say that. But I think that the window that we have as Germans into, you know, the house that is America is much, much larger than the window that Americans have into the German house. As much as they want to feel German. Lose some legitimacy, get tax modifiers, gain legitimacy. Yeah, alright, I'll gain some. That's okay. And I think it's a benefit to have that window. So while I like English and, you know, while I sometimes think, hey, man, what if you grew up in England? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be a nice experience to, I don't know, grow up, you know, let's say even Yorkshire, like in York, or let's say you grow up in Manchester, you know, or good old Northern-led. Hate Margaret Thatcher. So, the naturalist and scientific illustrator Maria Sibylla Marian has just returned from South America after 2 years. Malaria forced her home, but her travels inspired her to work with her major work. What? Inspired her to work with her major work. Alright. Metamorphosis Insectorum Suriname. Let's read it out non-English, okay? Metamorphosis Insectorum Surinamensium. German, in its pronunciation, is much closer to Latin, as Latin is spoken than English is. About her careful observations and documentation of the metamorphosis of the butterfly. Jakob Marl, a still-life painter and student of Georg Flegel, is Marianne's stepfather and the one who encouraged and taught her to draw and paint. Marianne published her first book of natural illustrations titled Neues Blumenbuch when she was 28. So we could... Oh, that's good skill. Lady, please, yes, absolutely. What are you? You're like right here, right? Yeah, let's go and let's upgrade her. Still making good money. I think it's like gotta be the war that we just fought, right? Yeah, making a lot of money actually, Jesus. Bayreuth Moon. The gardener's bath. We've already done this. Give me the power. So what I'm saying is, I like English as a language. I think it's nice. Most of the accents sound nice. Some are completely non-understandable for me as a foreigner, as a non-native speaker. Limmy, for example. I wish... Is his name Limmy or is it Rimy? I always forget. Like, Rimy. Limmy. Yeah. That's the dude that has done... This is the only joke. Oh, no joke. This is the only joke that I've understood of Limmy. What is heavier? 1 kilogram of feathers or 1 kilogram of whatever the other one is? Oh, they're both the same. What? I get that joke, alright? I got that joke. My retelling isn't too good, but I got the joke. I get it, alrighty? I just actually can't understand him otherwise. So I actually, you know, may surprise you, but I actually feel very positive about English. I think it's a really nice language, but if you are a native English speaker and your only language is English, then, my friend, you're behind. Why are you offering me royal marriage here? I mean, I know I don't have that many allies, 2 to be exact, but still. Let's take a look if we can't get some more meaningful alliances, and we cannot. They all hate me because of all the land I took. Maybe with you long term, huh? Oh, absolutely with you, Bentheim, let's go. Right, so that's my opinion on English. I actually like it. If you actually think that Swiss comes even English comes even close to being as terrible as Swiss, you are mistaken. And I hope that you never have to visit Switzerland or meet Swiss people, because it will make your ears bleed. The establishment of a bank has given us a reputation of seriousness and reliability. It has also allowed our government a much greater flexibility in raising funds for warfare. So, incredibly positive. Let's go with the yearly inflation reduction, and then we shall go with some more investments. Build some more manufactories, I think. 2 more, I think. And then I will build... I think we've already reached 5. Yes, we have. Build me some... Have I already... Oh, yeah. Sure. So, you know, Swiss... Why do I hate Swiss that much? First of all, the Swiss are very peculiar people, and I'm not a big fan of them. Austria, for example, is also brother people to Germans, right? They speak German, they have a history that is strictly tied together with us. And there's a motorcycle outside, as always. But I'm telling you, and I mean it, okay? I mean it. The Swiss are different, and I hate them. I don't like them. You know, shout out to every Swiss watching this. I'm very sorry, but I hate the Swiss. I don't like the Swiss, okay? And the Swiss have an accent, and yes, of course, there's sub-accents. As, you know, for example, let's take a look at Saxony. You have an accent here that's Erzgebirgisch. You have an accent here that is Vogtländisch. You have an accent here that is Leipzigerisch. Then you have an accent over here that is Dresdnerisch. Then you have the Niederschlesischen accent over here. All together sound fairly similar and make up the Saxon accent, but all of them are very unique. If you know the region as well as I do, as well as I also know the Bavarian region, of course, then you will know this difference. The difference is astounding once you actually take a look at it. Let's lose some manpower, sure. Set me back, daddy. So, of course, the Swiss also have a lot of accents, but man, let me tell you, they're all horrible. It's all these... Sorry for these terrible noises. Let me just speak German, right? I'm going to speak a German sentence. I'm going to translate it to English, and then I'm going to try my best to imitate the Swiss accent to show you just how awful it is. Don't like any of these, really. I think let's go with administrative effect. Right. Ich liebe ja den Fußball. I love football. Or, you know, oh well, I love the football. That's rather what I said. And now in Swiss German anyway. Ich liebe ja den Fußball. I'm sorry, den Fußball. It's a terrible accent. It sounds very unnatural because it's this constant, you know. I know that English speakers, for example, have an issue making a proper r, you know, an R sound. In English, there is no R. You know, the letter R is not pronounced in a way that is at all the Germanic R. We have a much more hand-on R. And the Austrians, for example, instead of doing like the Swiss, they make nice rolling R's. That's all they do. They just... Austrian is a nice accent. It's beautiful. There was another comment. Let me read that out right now. I have to say either Danish or Swiss has got to be the worst Germanic languages. I had a Swiss family once buy from me, and they spoke their Orkish tongue to me. Even me, who had heard of Niederländer, Hochdeutsch, and Norsk, didn't know, or Norsk, I don't even know. You know, Norwegians are weird about their language. Didn't know they were speaking Deutsch. Well, the thing is, the Swiss are actually disgusting beasts. No, I'm just telling you, like, as a language, the Swiss have developed it into such an isolated language. It's a pain. There's also Niederdeutsch, for example, which is up here, Plattdeutsch, and not Niederdeutsch, Plattdeutsch, which is not an accent in English. It's a dialect, so that means it has its own grammar and so on and so forth. And I can't understand Plattdeutsch either. If somebody sits down and speaks Plattdeutsch, you know, it's mostly old people these days, although we are trying to reinvigorate the language by giving them money, which is more power to you. Give them more money, all right? I want Germany to stay as diverse in its dialects as it is. But what it comes down to, at the end of the day, is that I couldn't understand that either. And the Swiss, I also have issues understanding it. You know, every other accent, every single other accent, except Swiss, does create some issues for me. Let's have a look here. We've maxed out, and that is terrible, because we can't actually... We will soon be able to invest over here, but man, we should do something else with that. How's this? Spend time. Oh, yes. Give me the alliance, baby. You want it, I want it. We want it. Beautiful. So we now have a rather powerful ally, which is nice. Oh, you no longer... That's, of course, devastating. And oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. I meant royal relations. Give me a royal marriage. God damn it. There you go. And now that we have a princess consort, what we can actually do is strengthen the government. Oh wait, there's military power? What do I use administrative on? Am I... used? Well, anyway. That's just my little story about languages. If you are monolingual, I don't want to force you. More power to you. You do you. But I would advise you to look into learning different languages. It's not just worth it, it is necessary to not be at a disadvantage like that. That's just... Wait, why could I declare war on you and... You're not a free city? You're a county! Oh... Really? So Württemberg and Salzburg both would come into the war. Frankfurt as well. Oh, hoo. Aggressive expansion is looking perfectly. Frankfurt, how many allies you got? If I do this, Ooh. I don't think we could handle that though, but we have all the cities here and Katzenelnbogen, of course, in the war. Let's declare. First of all, let's bring up our spending here. Bring both armies over here. Because what I would like to do... Speyer. I don't think... Maybe I can't take them if they're not a main enemy of the war. But we'll have to see that Worms not being a free city makes things so much easier. Oh boy. Yeah, let's go to war right now. I will call both of you in. There you go. Wiped him. Now let's get that under control right here. Siege of Hana, of course. What was that? Why was that so quick? Does make me think, you know. Speyer has been sieged. Now let me take a look here. Baby, it's very tough. Ah, that would pain me. So let's... okay, you know what? We don't do that. I'll just take, like... Can I make you into a vassal? I can't do that with free cities, right? Yeah, I can't. Okay, first of all, there's no music. Let's go back to the good old Swedish songs. No, an evergreen. That's what we call it. I think that's is that also an English term? Not even sure, honestly. That's what we call songs that are always great. I just always go back to them, and they're always amazing. So if we took Speyer, we definitely couldn't take anything over here or here, but we're gonna see. Okay, I would like to take Worms and maybe Mainz. So how about you just give me some money? Why are they so quick in sieging? Are you crazy? It's unreasonable. It's unfair. I'm a Jedi, but I don't have a seat in the Jedi Council. Come on. Not a wipe, sadly. So they're sieging down Worms, which is the target of the war. Let's focus on battles for the moment here. Let's just... Yeah, this is nothing. I think I could have handled this alone, let's be honest, yeah. But it's better that I don't, because last time I did it, it did work out, but wasn't the best experience. Wasn't the best experience. That much is for sure. What else is there to say about languages? I honestly want to invest into ideas so that we can get the construction cost and yearly prestige. Fort maintenance, fort defense, honestly, yeah, absolutely. Nice. Wait, were you? Regensburg Stadt. You're already done. Really? Where are you? Are you down here? Wait, what? Right, yeah, I was confused there for a second. For 1 second. I was not certain of geography. Classic piece here. Where are we? Right, we are walking into that fight. We may want to take back some stuff, but I honestly don't think so. I think we're good to go as is. Can't even go to any... Oh, I can totally go to Kreuznach, so let's do that. Siege it down. Actually, you know what? My allies can siege it down. I'm just gonna walk back on some armies. Somebody has to do it. Got him. You fool. You had no idea what you were doing, and it ended your life. Also, I have no army leader because I'm extremely smart. When did he die? I can't recall when he died at all. Oh, that's terrible. Yo, you're both terrible. Oh, you're all terrible. Well, let's go with you then. They were all actually terrible. Hot garbage. Right, what do I do with these administrative points? Is there something I'm forgetting? In which I could... Oh, you know what I could do? Reinforce speed. Ooh. Ooh. Absolutely, give me this. I don't need the points. Let's go catch these 9k. There you go. Wipe. Right, and now for Kreuznach. Excuse me. There you go. Worms will soon fall, which is quite nice. The miracle of life. In those dark days of war and death, we've already had this like ages ago. I can remember this event. Lose 2 war exhaustion. Just a random baby. Wasn't even an heir. Because we already have an amazing heir, remember this. The worst language, like, period. The worst language that I have heard of. Wait, what? He will die? No! Game. Johan giveth and Johan taketh away. And he has taken away. The pain. The pain. Wait, Frankfurt? Oh, they're all in this war, man. If we could make this happen. The hands down worst language in my ears, okay? Is may or may not be Chinese. There, I said it, okay? I hate the sound of Chinese. I can't appreciate that language at all. It doesn't appeal to me. In any way. It is very much not nice. But don't let that stop you from learning Chinese. Learning languages is always good. It enables you to do many more things than you would have been able without it. Yeah, let's do a chance of a new heir. Got a new idea, yeah. We also got Peace Banquet. After the signing of the Peace of Westphalia, the Peace Executional Congress assembles in our city. We should use this opportunity to make contacts with all European nations. I don't know what that means. Did they actually... Wait a second. Bayreuth. Frieden von Westfalen. I don't think that they actually, like, in real life, actually ate there. You know, that they got the peace done in Westphalia and then went to Bayreuth. I don't think that is a reality, so I don't know about this focus. I don't know what it means. Regardless. So you got some enemies here. Zweibrücken is still in this. Interesting. Zweibrücken, really. Only this one, yeah. Landshut? Why do you all want royal marriages with me? I don't even want an alliance. How's Ingolstadt doing? They hate me. Beautiful. Ah, just like God intended. The Bavarian hates the Franconian. And both are not Catholic. Very natural. Natural development, everybody. Oh, a peace deal. Right, so that's not good. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna wait. Because if I could, man, I don't know. If I could take Worms and Frankfurt, man, I don't know. I mean, I can vassalize Worms, if nothing else. You know, I could vassalize them, and then I could annex Frankfurt. That is an option I have. So that's because they are only a county, right? You wouldn't accept this? Are you crazy? I can't take this because more than 100% war score. Oh, oof, 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 oof. That's terrible. Right, what if I instead took your city, buddy? Give me a city. You hear me? No coalition. Could take Mainz. Big coalition. Honestly, I don't know, man. If I take these two, that's 2 knocked out. Only 2 left. I think we should gun for this. I think that should be the goal here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Also, let's go back to Sweden. What else is there to say about languages? It's a topic you can't really ever pass up in real life. It's everywhere. I mean, you want to talk to people, which I don't advise you to do, you gotta do that. You gotta speak to them, you know? It's a basic realization everybody makes once they have to earn money. So, Zweibrücken. Let's go. I would like money. I would like war operations and trade power. And that's it. But I theoretically know. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Katze in Ellenbogen sending me messages. Why is the Pfalzgrafschaft? What? Why are you holding Katze in Ellenbogen's provinces? Are you crazy? Wait, what? Wait. Somebody help me out here. Wait, what? You're a vassal of Württemberg. I had no idea. Well, there you go. I had no idea. Right, do I actually have to go to Holland? I mean, I'll do it if I have to. Oh, look at beautiful Bentheim. They only have 4k troops. Are you crazy? No, okay. 25k. Pretty good. I want some money from Holland. And I deserve it. So that's what I'm going for. Give me some sweet, sweet war operations. And in the meantime, how about we build some more manpower pool? Let's go. Siege of Utrecht. Dutch is also one of those languages. I can... Wait, give me a second. Can I understand it or can I read it? I can't remember. I think I can read it, but I can't understand a word. If you speak... Yeah. If you start speaking Dutch, I have no clue what you're talking about. With the spread of popular literacy, a great number of cheap minor publications, pamphlets and chapbooks and similar have begun to circulate in greater numbers. While many of them are just popular ballads, stories or gossip, some are thinly veiled attempts at criticizing the pillars of our state and the religious establishment. The spread of a particular immoral and political ballad has led to demand that we limit the press more harshly and that we take disloyal printers and their products into our care. I'll take the unrest. I don't want to lose innovativeness, are you crazy? Sweet. This is the good stuff. Give me some money. Give me some trade power. I don't even... What do I do with that trade, huh? I don't think there's any point in having that. Of course, no. Right, there you go. Thanks, buddy. Incorruptible. Right, we've also had that happen in the past already, so I don't actually need to read it out. And I think that is where I call it a day. And want to make peace. Let's take a look. So I take these two, right? Oh, that's a pretty big coalition, man. Oh. Well, they're pretty weak. Honestly, let's do it. It's 2 out of 4. Also, let's just take Frankfurt. Let's just take everything. Rawr. We're not at war with you, right? Yeah, we're not. Speyer is still independent. Excuse me. Alright, you know what? We'll do it like this. And we'll hope. Wait, actually, I'm gonna do it in separate pieces. Because that way I can demand some money. We war reparations, buddy. And that's it. Don't want anything else from you for the moment. So war reparations is also fine. Oof. That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes you gotta eat the coalition, alright? Just the way it is. The way it be. The way it do. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it, alright? Who is this? Isenburg. Nah. Can't say I care for them. Right, we've done it. Who are you? Yeah, that piece is no longer valid. No, there's gonna be a coalition, alright? Let's just hope that we can stand until they come. States demand control the clergy. I shall give you Klingenberg. Actually, why don't I just... oh, okay. There you go, buddy. Right, and now here comes the terrifying part, where we have to wait until people aren't mad at us. Don't you dare, everybody. Don't you dare. Telling you straight up, alright? I will destroy you if you declare war on me. Oh, I've lost some rivals here. How about we go with Eichstätt, maybe? No? Ingolstadt, sure. I'll take Ingolstadt. Look at these fools entering coalitions. Ah, that's bad. The unlawful territory is very bad. Anyway, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in. We have made great progress this episode by taking Worms and Mainz. And now only Frankfurt and Speyer are left. And then we will be able to finally take the decision to form the Duchy of Franconia. Oh no, I have to core them. My heart stood still for 1 second. But there you go, okay. Only 2 more provinces. Let's do it. Until later.